I don't want to put anything in your head, but do you think that, you go into the studio having your songs and, of course, living in the time that we're in, like, has that kind of affected the way that you've thought about, the music you want to do?
I think to some degree, yes. It does. It changes the perspective of kind of like how people view the world, even on kind of like a base level. So you kind of want to be cognizant of that. And it's funny. It's funny that I feel like this has happened with some bigger artists too, where like a song was written before the pandemic, but through the eyes of the pandemic, it's like kind of like almost. What's the word I'm looking for? Kismet or something. Where you're like, oh wow, this definitely feels, this feels like it was written because of the pandemic, but it just kind of happened that way.
Welcome, everybody, to the podcast, Casting for Two. My name is Chris, the host. As always, this is episode number 401. It's hard to believe that 1 week has gone by and I'm still at 400. Well, it's not that hard to believe, but it's also hard to believe that I release 400 episodes and craziness breaks out. Hopefully good craziness because, in the middle of recording this, we're still not, we're sure who's going to win the presidential race, but we're not sure yet because they haven't announced it. But, exciting times, and hopefully, nothing is going to be cleared up right away, but at least now we have a direction to go. And we will all get there together. And the motto of the podcast: wear a mask and treat others with some respect. All right, we're all sharing the same land, the same world. So let's all just hang out together. All right, love each other. But I could go on more about that, but I would like to talk about my awesome guest for today. My guest today is a hella awesome singer, songwriter, musician. JP Welsh, a.k.a. Fuller, is on the podcast today. And I just had a great time chatting with him. This was before, obviously before the election, but in the midst of the pandemic as well. And it was just great to just have a good, fun chat with somebody who's just so creative. If you guys haven't listened to his music or seen his YouTube videos, anything like that, I highly recommend them. They're all awesome. But I'm done talking, so let's get into this episode, all right? So, JP, take it away. Hey, JP, it's going well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty well, Chris. Doing pretty well.
Nice. It's always nice when I can do, because you're on the West Coast, right?
I am, but I'm in a hotel in Houston right now.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah. Which is why I asked to switch up the time, which I appreciate. I'm on the last little leg of a journey to go visit family for a little bit. So I'm
gotcha.
Off the west for a minute.
It's because I'm in San Antonio, and I thought
you were in New York for some reason.
No, I wish, but it's okay. I'm in San Antonio. It's funny though, because all weekend I was getting texts from my friends over out on the West Coast, and we're just, "Are you okay?" I'm just, "Yeah, why?" Because there's this, brain-eating bacteria in the water, and I was just, "Oh,
Is it
yeah, that's
really?
in Houston." Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I'm literally drinking a glass of hotel tap water right now, so I'm gonna stop. Or
uh,
is it in like lakes? I would imagine. I feel like that's a thing that's happened before.
yeah, I'm sure, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. People were just sending me that story, and I was just like, oh, yeah, no, I'm in San Antonio. That's not close to Houston, so I'm all right. Plus, I also don't have a brain for it to eat, so I'm
Yeah,
good there.
yeah. Like I don't have much to lose. It's gonna be fine. Yeah,
Yeah, if anything,
it's
it's an improvement.
yeah. And maybe you can blur out some space. I could use some space. Yeah, I feel like the news cycle has gotten so wild that I've kind of just stopped looking at it, which of course would have been helpful to know that. But what are you gonna do? It's gonna
Right,
be good.
right.
It'll be all right.
Nah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But well, and plus, you said you're visiting family. You have Texas roots, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm headed to College Station actually.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, that's my family lives in Bryan. But yeah. So I'm doing that. Honestly, I just kind of wanted to get out of the city for a little bit and kind of unwind. I just put out a record, and now I'm about to go in the studio in November. But until then, I'm gonna just kind of take it easy.
Yeah, yeah. As far as going to the studio in November, is obviously make new songs is the goal to put out another EP or full length album. Like, what's the plans for
We
that?
we will see. This is kind of just the beginnings of the next cycle. So we'll kind of see what it turns into. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of start the process. I kind of
Yeah,
don't have a full on. Haven't decided exactly what it's gonna be yet, but yeah, just got to keep. With the way things are these days with music and putting things out, you just kind of have to continue to make more and create more and keep a kind of steady stream because attention is pretty you know high in demand. So you
right.
just kind of keep it rolling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the things I've been asking, creative individuals during this pandemic is, obviously we've been sticking at home a lot more, trying to stay safe. I'm wondering for you, have you noticed an uptick in your creativity? I mean, you said you're going to the studio, so I'm assuming, you got lots of songs locked and loaded.
I do have lots of songs locked and loaded, but I would definitely not say that I've had an uptick in creativity since the pandemic. It has been kind of the opposite. It's
Gotcha.
luckily I already had like I was in like heading into like release mode, and kind of like
Oh, okay, yeah.
getting people excited about things. So I already had those all finished up, and since I had been in the studio to make those, I had already like I've written a couple songs since the pandemic, but I definitely wrote more before it started. It's which I think could be attributed to two things. One, it's been kind of a emotional roller coaster this year.
Right.
But also, I mean, my whole focus has just been like, get out the music, get as many people to hear it as possible, get things going with all that. And it's a new project too, so it's kind of like there was a lot of legwork just to kind of jump off the ground.
Mm.
So it's probably been a blend of things, but you know.
Right. Okay. And I mean, I don't want to put anything in your head, but do you think that you go into the studio having your songs, and of course, living in the time that we're in, like, has that kind of affected the way that you've thought about, the music you want to do?
I think to some degree, yes. It does. It changes the perspective of kind of like how people view the world, even on kind of like a base level. So you kind of want to be cognizant of that. And it's funny. It's funny that I feel like this has happened with some bigger artists too, where like a song was written before the pandemic, but through the eyes of the pandemic, it's like kind of like almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Kismet or something. Where you're like, oh wow, this definitely feels this feels like it was written because of the pandemic, but it just kind of happened that way. So it's funny to kind of look through the pandemic lens at some of my newer songs and be like, oh wow, this kind of feels like something that a lot of people are going through, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will say that I've kind of already, like, I've hit my limit personally for how many times I want to hear someone say quarantine in a song.
Right.
Like it was kind of done. It was done, and it was kind of interesting in April when you're like, damn, they put out a song fast.
Right.
No one was saying quarantine a month ago, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Quarantine, pandemic, we're on it. I understand. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I obviously, I listen to music, but, that's as far as I go. I have yet to really hear quarantine in a song, just because I don't know. I've just been listening to, a lot of my normal staples, but I also do listen to like a lot of 80s and 90s music. So it'd be weird if I listened to one that predicted this.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, there it is. I can now. Yeah, I missed right after Staples.
Yeah. No, I was just saying how it would just I haven't really listened to too much quarantine music or quarantine anything, but I just mainly listen to 80s and 90s music, which would be weird if I came across like a Ace of Base song that predicted this exact predicament.
If anyone could do it, I feel like it would be Ace of Base. I mean, they saw the sign. We didn't see it. So,
oh my God, that's what that song's about. No.
They know what's up. They know what's going on.
They always do. Speaking of music and speaking to you, obviously music, I've really enjoyed a lot of the music that you've been posting on your YouTube channel, just in the styles of different artists.
Oh yeah, that's been fun.
Yeah, is that like what inspired that?
That was inspired from me, just kind of like I got into like I had a New Year's resolution in January to get more into social media, because you have to do it, and it's one of those things where if you just decide and commit to it, it's much more enjoyable than doing like a little half in, half out situation. So I was like, all right, well, I'll dive into it. And TikTok was kind of happening, but it hadn't gotten. Now it's like TikTok is, in major media and, the forefront of the news and all that jazz. But in January, it was still kind of like, not cringy, but it was still, people kind of thought about it like, oh, TikTok, kind of like that kind of thing. But I jumped on there and then was just kind of like making little videos, and I was trying to just think of things that could be fun to do and interesting, and I don't know why, I just had a inspiring moment where I was like, well, what if I did like these popular TikTok songs, but I did them in a different style, something that kind of speaks more to like the music that I grew up on and listened to.
Yeah.
So I just kind of started doing that, and then a couple of them did really well and kind of helped get things rolling, and then a lot of people started doing that, and now, I mean, my feed is only other people doing like songs in the style of somebody else, and they've all become much more successful with it than I ever was, which was kind of one of those fun things. We were like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Well, you're killing it. Good for you. Keep on, keep it on, guy.
All right. I'll be over here.
Yeah, I'll be over here. Yeah, but it's all good. It's, I'm a pretty positive guy, so even whenever things go a little sideways, I'm like, well, it is what it is. It's fun, and I honestly don't really care about, like, I'm not going to go get jealous about somebody else's success on a social media app. That's kind of silly. So
right. It's pretty amazing. Well, I commend you for being like, you know what, I gotta, embrace this thing that everybody worships. I've had the opposite effect where, I'm not on TikTok. I don't care for TikTok, whatever. I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
But when it comes
totally.
when it comes to social media and Twitter and Instagram, as it is, I've been kind of backing off on those platforms for a little bit, just because I'm like, look, I don't have anything to say. I'm just going to go chill and, read a book, listen to music, just kind of take, do my own thing. And then, of course, when all this craziness, when 2020 started really taking full effect, that became even more to where, I'll just leave my phone somewhere else and not have to worry about social media for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And now I'm just, it's so nice just not knowing everyone's Twitter feed. It's just like, I don't know what they said. I'm just, I'm chilling.
Dude,
doing.
That's the answer. Like, straight up, if I did not have to be on social media for my career aspirations, I would have deleted all of it. All of it, man. I don't know if you've seen I almost said Plandemic, not Plandemic. I don't know if you've seen different movie. I don't know if you've seen The Social Dilemma that was out on Netflix recently, but it talks about all the stuff it does to your brain and all that jazz. So it has gotten me to the healthy place of turning off the notifications, so I no longer get buzzed whenever somebody likes a photo or comments on something. It's just you don't need it. It's not good. So I'm trying to step away, while still engaging and being out there. Like, I'm trying to, for my mental health, man. You gotta kind of give yourself some space. I want beepers and freaking Razor cell phones coming back.
Oh my!
Okay. Two different time periods, but still, either one of them would be good, to be honest.
I want the Motorola Razor beeper right now, please.
Yes, please. I want what was it called? I want ER back on. I want Will Ferrell should be on SNL, and I think life would be good.
So, I mean, I think this is kind of interesting that, I feel like we're similar age range where I know exactly everything that you're talking about, but like when social media didn't really take off until we were older people in our lives.
Out of college.
It's and I've always had this theory of we are the perfect generation who understands that it is a tool and not a way of life. And then as, the younger generation keeps going, that's their life, versus we're like, well, remember before the internet? Remember music CDs were a thing,
You remember outside? You remember outside? Yeah. You remember going over, be like, hey, I'm going to go over to my friend's house down the street. I'll see you, after the sun goes down. I'll ride my bike back home. Like, that was nice. It was a good time.
I just remember, biking everywhere. I had a bike. Let's go, across the street, across the city, across the, I don't know, wherever we can go. Just, wear a helmet and come back before it's dark. Those were the only rules I had growing up.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was really good. And, not to just be like, you know, put myself out there as like some old person or something. Like, there are absolutely huge benefits to all the technology that we've gotten, but
Absolutely.
I do think that, you know, I think we might get there too, to a place where people are like, oh, this isn't everything. I feel like the pandemic's kind of shown that too. Like, since, you know, analog human interaction has, you know, in a sense just been taken away, it's kind of accelerated the point where it's like, hey, just digital is really not enough. So, like, let's not just forget that, you know, seeing people in the flesh is, you know, kind of a good thing, you know?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, the real thing will always be better than the digital thing, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I miss shows, you know? I miss shows.
Right.
A live stream's great, but also, is it, you know?
Right.
It's like, I wanna feel people, like, being in a room, and I wanna, like, you know, be shaken by the subwoofer and just feel it. It feels like something, you know? There's a undescribable sensation that happens when you're at a live show.
The best feeling for me about being in a live show was always, you know, having general admission tickets and then trying to get as close as the band as possible. But you know, I'm a bigger guy, so, and I played football for many years. So when I plant my feet, I don't move.
Oh, yeah.
People will mosh around me. I'm not moving. And my buddy, who, you know, I used to go to concerts with, who, you know, he's a good guy, best guy ever out in the world, top class, whatever. He is really scrawny. So I would tell him, hang on to me or else, you know, you're going to get pushed back. And, you know, we were at a Queens of the Stone Age concert, planted my feet. Everyone's going crazy. I'm there enjoying it. And end of the concert, I look back to see where he is, and he's just like so far back. And I'm just like, dude, you just got to hang out with me, man. I just love that, you know, I'm not a mosher or anything, but I like me trying to keep my designated spot during a concert. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. I was at Warped Tour in 2008, and I was there with two girls that I was friends with, and I remember just getting so. I've always been one of those people where it's like I want to be in the show, but I always hated moshing. I would always be like, stop it! Like, I'm trying to enjoy a show. I don't want to get hit, guy. Like, I'm like with some friends, just trying to take it easy. Like, I already have what's probably going to be the worst sunburn of my life. Like, I'm in a parking lot in Houston. Like, I don't need this. Please settle down. I think I've always been 80. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Even whenever I was 17, I was 80 somehow. Calm down, children.
Well, stop all this moshing around, people.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
No, I get that. You know, after a certain point, you know, if it was a band that, you know, like the Foo Fighters, I've seen many, many a times. It got to the point where I was like, I just kind of want to sit in the stands and just watch them, you know? I just want to enjoy the music. But my brother-in-law, who grew up listening to country and Tejano music, we brought him to a AWOL Nation concert. And, you know, he didn't care for the music because that's not his thing. But when moshing started happening, he was just like, what is this? And I go, oh, this is where people encourage you to push them. Really? I go, yeah, give it a try. So he ran up there and just started, like, that was his fun experience of just pushing people. And he was like, yeah, this is great. And of course, you know, nobody got injured or anything. But yeah, that was, I feel like that was a turning point for him as far as concerts go.
That's really funny. I once saw Bam Margera at an AWOL Nation show at South by Southwest. That was very weird. And there's a picture of me, like, tossed out of my mind, like, smiling like a goon with my arm around a very, like, unexcited, unhappy Bam Margera. It was great.
Wow. Without even knowing, like, you just opened a whole Pandora's box for me because I was a huge Bam Margera fan, huge
Dude, who
Jackass
wasn't?
fan.
Who wasn't?
Oh my
Man.
God!
Idiot kids everywhere idolize them. Like they changed the shopping cart for me. You know, they changed things.
Oh man. Is that photo online or is it like a private photo?
Oh God, I hope not. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. And I was at a heftier time. I got like a double chin. I'm like just really losing it. It's great. It's great and awful. It's the best.
Memories, right? Memories. That's what it's all about.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? living life, man. Sometimes you go and get blasted at a show and meet a minor celebrity.
Well, I mean, if you were to take that photo, not to be mean or anything, but if you were to take that photo today, it'd be the opposite now.
What do you mean? Like he?
I mean, he's gotten he's gotten a little bit.
No, he was pretty big then, actually.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, never mind.
He didn't look great. Not to live your life, Bam. I mean, I think he was like a pretty hardcore boozer. I think he's kind of. I feel like I saw like a No, I don't know if it was a documentary or maybe it was like a YouTube video or something. I don't know. Some skater dudes went and hung out with Bam, and I think he's kind of cleaned up his act because he was like fully formed, going down the tube. But
right.
Hey, wish him the best. Bam's great.
No, yeah, absolutely. But talking about concerts and live events and all that good stuff, have you been able to perform any of the songs that you did live at all?
I actually on Monday did a live taping of some of the songs, so that's going to be coming out in the next few days, weeks. Just did a couple songs, but no, this project is very, very new, and I hadn't gotten a chance. Like, obviously, the plan, there were supposed to be shows and stuff in April, but then the world decided otherwise. So
right.
I'm very much looking forward to that, though. I want to get out there and meet people and go on the road and make a bunch of friends, But soon enough, I would imagine, when the sickness passes.
Right. Is there one song in particular? Obviously, you wrote them all. You're excited to perform them all. But is there one song that you're just so interested in just playing in front of a crowd and just getting their reaction?
I mean, honestly, man, Favorite Poison is pretty fun just because it's so damn fast. Oh, yeah. It's fast. It's probably one of the fastest songs I've written, maybe. I don't know, Crush Me actually might be faster now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. They're fast and they're fun. It's fun. It's just fun, The older, previous bands and stuff that I've done things, were just a different vibe. So this is more excitable and high energy, and I just want to go crazy, in a real positive way. Just go crazy on stage and flop around like a wild man. It's kind of the plan eventually.
It must be nice, being able to flex a different part of your musical muscle as well with this project, because listening to the EP, I was just like, hey, Favorite Poison, the one thing I love about music is that it can go anywhere, even though all the amount of songs in the world there are, you'll never find, a similar song unless, it's a cover, obviously. But listening to the lyrics of Favorite Poison, I was like, God damn it. If only, I had written this or something, because it's so catchy. And I feel like, it's one of those songs, and, of course, you'll be able to confirm or deny. I feel like there's a story behind this song. And there's a connection instantly that I had with it, because like, yep, been there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, sadly, there are more than one story connected to that one. That's
right.
You could just call that my early 20s. That's
Yeah.
just all the times I decided to burn down my life instead of stop seeing some borderline lunatic that I fell in love with for some reason or another. Here's the hint. They were pretty. And I was just like, oh, crazy? I don't care. What's up? Cool. I like mistakes. Let's make some mistakes. You want to do a mistake too? Yeah, let's go. This won't be good for us. It's not going to be good for me, but who cares? I don't care. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you know what? Worth it. It was worth it. I stand by them all. I stand by every one of them. I would do it again. I honestly wish I could do it again. But you know what you can't do in a pandemic? You can't, I guess, meet people. So
right.
We'll see. I would take one of those. No, you know what? No, I wouldn't. But, the point stands. It was worth doing. I had a thing. I'm like all over the place, by the way. I had a thing in college where I started. This is so like kind of dumb, but also like I feel like it holds up. I started living my life for the story, not for the like, is this the right call? Like if I had a friend that would be like, hey, do you want to go out to the bar, or you want to go to this party with me? And I'd be like, oh, I have a final tomorrow. Would it be more interesting to stay home and study for the final? Will I even remember that? Like, or would it be more interesting to say that I went out and got, drunk with my friends and stayed up till 3 and then woke up for a 9 a.m. final? I mean, obviously, the other one is a more interesting story. And to be honest, I don't even remember what the final was for. And right. I'm also not using my college degree, so I don't care.
Right.
Like, it's great. We're fine. It was fun. It was fun, and I'll do it again. I mean, I won't have a final again, hopefully, but I will, go out with friends one day. Hopefully.
It's, I mean, that's all what makes, things that you do, the writing that you do, all, worthwhile, having all these life experiences, I always laugh at, these, not to go again on an old man tangent, but, I've been around so many, like 20-year-olds who, are just like, I know everything about life. And I'm just like, what have you done though? Like what sort of things have you done? What life experiences do you have? And like, I graduated high school. Like, okay, cool.
Great.
That's
great.
Awesome. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else? And it's just that thing of, go out, live life, experience it, do some good, do some bad, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their life, but obviously, in your case, I gotta assume, and I don't want to assume, but I'm gonna assume that even writing these songs, about certain situations in your life, they gotta be at least, somewhat therapeutic, bring back the good, the bad, but at least, you can kind of, hash it out in your mind on how it affected you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always enjoyable. And, there's always, like, to some degree, a level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Artistic license,
Right, right.
It's not necessarily verbatim what's happened in my life, but it's the feeling. It definitely emotes the feeling that I correspond with that time in my life, for sure. And to let these 20-year-olds off the hook to some degree, I feel like it's pretty easy for us to be like, the new generation just thinks they got it all together. But I mean,
right.
when I was 20, I also thought that I knew what was going on. And, then, you're 23 or 24 and you start realizing that you don't know anything. And the more you realize you don't know, the better it feels. It's like just,
right.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like across the board, people right now could use some self-awareness. Like, just know what you know and be okay with not knowing. Everybody's pretty hefty on preaching to one another at the current moment as well. And it's like, dude, why don't we all just go read a fucking book? Like, stop it. Like, stop.
Right.
You saw the same Instagram infographic that I did. Stop acting like you fucking read Nietzsche or something. Like, I don't need this from you right now. Like, come on. But
it's there's this amazing thing that happens when you get older and just realize, oh, I don't know everything, but you can admit that, and then you just go on with your life. It's just like, I don't know things. All right, cool.
Yeah, dude.
I've
been embracing it. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's great. Like, I didn't go to Stanford or Princeton, and even if I did, I'd still be an idiot. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, we're all just one little piece of this big, giant world. Let it be. That's a good line. I should write that. Let it be. That's a good line.
Let it be. Yeah, I think that could work. Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like people would connect to it.
I mean, you might have to,
it's trash.
test that out.
I'm not going to do it. It's
all right, don't do it. Yeah. Give it to some other schmuck. That's fine.
I bet a Brit would probably make it cool. I'll give it to them.
Oh yeah.
Give it to the British.
Possibility. JP, thank you so much for the wonderful chat. I really enjoyed the EP. I'm excited to get more music. Selfishly, I'm excited to get more music from you. And anytime you want to come back, just say the word. And anytime you're in Austin doing a show, let me know, because I'll go up there. I don't want to go to shows in San Antonio. I only go to shows in Austin because I'm that cool. But
that makes sense. I definitely will. I 100%. I lived in Austin for 7 years before I moved to LA, so I will definitely be playing some shows there. Thanks for having me on too, by the way. I hope some of this was usable. I feel like it was just me spouting off like a moron, but I'm glad that I could chit-chat with you and say some nonsense,
If there's one thing this podcast is good at, it's nonsense. So you fit right in, believe me.
Oh, beautiful. I love it.
But, yeah, I'll let you go. Continue to have a good day and safe travels and stay healthy, all right, man?
Thanks, man. Same to you. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.